Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Raising Excellence's brief version, teaser version of this week's podcast. And this week's title is The Discomfort of Birthing Freedom. I know you're going to be interested in this one. But with me today is my two favorite co-hosts, Agnieszka, our psychosomatic illuminator, and Dennis, our freedom facilitator.
Blessed love and greetings, beautiful people.
All right. So this week we're going to be talking about the sunk cost fallacy. The rarely talked about sunk cost fallacy that most people are suffering from, I think, including everyone here in the room. Is that true? Do you think that's true?
Sunk cost fallacy. Yes.
If you
What
look,
was the question? Did I miss something? I was trying to see our Restream report.
Are you suffering from having a sunk cost fallacy in your neck of the woods?
I kind of eradicate those pretty much. I don't stay in comfort for very long. I move on. So no, I don't think so. But maybe.
You're lying. You're lying.
Wow, that's
I
a
know
little
I'm suffering
aggressive.
from it.
Well, I don't know if I don't stay comfortable. I don't like to I've been in Mexico for 2 months. I've let go of all my furniture, all my clothes, all my possessions, even my beloved computer. I'm okay reshuffling my life when I see a point to it and when there is a definite reason for it. So no, I don't think so. It's not really in my nature.
how does that relate to the sunk cost, though? Like what
it's the beliefs that we've invested in that we won't get rid of. And in many cases, and like if you look at John Taylor Gatto, or you know, Bob Podolsky has a great one where he said he wrote down his beliefs and then found out that 95% of them were wrong when he actually looked at what he believed. We've got a lot of things that we believe that are wrong, and it's unfortunate. But when you tie that to being isolated and more isolated, as we don't have that opportunity to have other people kind of confront the issues that we have, I think we fall even further and further into this fallacy. And I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it does take some discomfort to get out of it, right? Like if you, and even just thinking about it is like, wow, like, you know, going a little deeper and going into the beliefs that you have acquired, you know, the views, the perspectives that you have, and you go a little deeper and you research and say, is that really true? Can I be 100% sure about that? And, you know, what about his view? What about that? And, you know, if you have to challenge yourself, and that's a discomfort, even on an intellectual level already, to challenge you on that level. And it can go beyond that as well. And that's, I think, you know, where the title also comes from, the discomfort of birthing freedom, because, you know, to be able to let go of your beliefs, to release them, there's freedom in that. There's tremendous freedom in that. But it does take some discomfort, you know, to get there and to cut through the layers and to cut deep in order to unveil that which is, you know, maybe hidden down there.
Yeah, I'm sure there are beliefs that I am attached to. I'm sure that there are beliefs in me that I am attached to that I haven't examined yet. But I understand also that I make an inventory and I examine and release beliefs, you know, as they come up. So I don't know. I'm pretty diligent on that, I would say.
I think it's in our times, in these times that we're in right now, there's like, wow, there's a lot of opportunity of letting go and of releasing, you know, beliefs, or even like, you know, a certain way of life. And you know, because a lot of things seem to be coming to light right now. And yeah, like I even said last show, it seems that, you know, it's asked of us, you know, to decide, are we here, are we there, where do we stand? And that's an opportunity as well, you know, to let go some of the things that, you know, you may be carrying around as a luggage and who give you extra weight, or that are holding you down, that are preventing you from, you know, getting up there where you really belong to.
I remember when I was still working. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Do you have something?
I've got something, but I can wait.
Okay, so when I was working in the office, right, and like being really attached to the high rises downtown and feeling that they provided a sense of security and safety to me as an employee, because, you know, as long as I had a high rise behind me, I knew that there was like a paycheck every month and that I was, you know, taken care of. And so that was a sunk cost fallacy, because I'd spent many, many years in corporate and working as a contracts person, whatever, and in or editor or whatever in a lot of corporations, oil and gas corporations. I felt like that having that job was something that provided me safety, but in reality it was a shit show. I didn't fit in. First of all, I'm not a corporate kind of person. I had to really squeeze myself into a much smaller box than I actually am every single day, and there was no safety because they could lay me off at any time. So in that way, being self-employed, I've experienced more safety, because even if one client lets me go, I still have a few other ones to fall back on. And I still have an opportunity to create more work, like every day. So I don't know, that's my example of sunk cost fallacy, the way I understand that, how it like relates in my life. You know, every time you let go of something you're comfortable with and step into a new reality, that's sort of releasing that. Well, not every time, but the examples I'm thinking of. Michael?
Well, I think the world is a reflection. The outside world is a reflection of the inside. And if we're accepting the world as it is, then we're missing something. And vast majorities of the population are essentially blind to the things that are valuable and blind to the things that are harmful. And they accept things like government because they've invested so much in it and it's been throughout their entire life. And yet they're like, well, it's not, yeah, they screwed up this time, but that's how we do it. We've got to have a problem and then we'll fix it. But unfortunately, like in every other case, it's just, one more problem that they create by solving a problem, and so it never ends. It's a perpetual. And the fact that people are so accustomed to this, it's in every field, it's in every subject matter, it's all over the place. And if the outside world is like that, guess what? The inside world is like that too. And the more that we point the finger at the outside world and say, it's the politicians, it's the government, it's this, it's that, it's those guys over there, where those other three fingers are pointing back at us, kind of reminding us that, guess what? Those guys may be a problem, but the big problem is on the inside. Because if we're blaming people for problems, we're suffering because we're not really recognizing the real problem. And I think that's one of the investments that we've made is this idea that that blaming things are going to solve the problem, but it's just creating problems that increase. And this is the reason that conflict resolution is such an important thing, and why we need to really kind of confront some of the fallacies that and false and limiting beliefs we're having, because we really do have ultimate potential. And like the the example that Agnieszka you gave, the assets that we have are our skills. Those are the greatest assets that we have. Our talents and our skills and our ability, those are our greatest talents. And those are there whether we're working for a big corporation or we're working for ourselves. And the more that we carry the responsibility of taking on those skills and broadcasting those skills to other people, and showing our value to other people, and then helping each other grow and those skills, the better off we all are. And
there's a lot to unpack there.
If we really
You've said so much. I have so many responses I wanted to say to a lot of the things that you said.
Keep them for Wednesday. We do have a comment though.
The one thing that sticks with me, let me just say the one thing. The one thing that sticks with me is that The problem is that we accept the world as it is. And the goal is that we should accept the world as it is, but it's like a kind of weird mind fuck. Anyway, what's the comment?
It's from Samayam, and she's saying, how would you go about letting go of being comfortable with being uncomfortable? How to learn to accept comfortable without becoming complacent?
Ooh, Mr. Sam strikes again. Always
So,
good comments.
inspiration
Well,
for Wednesday.
who wants to answer that?
Maybe we should answer it on Wednesday.
Yes, keep it for Wednesday.
Buy ourselves more
Yeah,
time.
I think so.
I do have
Exactly.
I do have an example for a project that actually lasted for the better part of 10 years of my life, where I really sunk not only some thought but also some blood, sweat and tears, let's say it like that, and money too in it. And that was, yeah, that's probably one of the better examples that I could come up with for, something that I really invested in on many levels. And what I want to say for today is that being able to, so that was discomfort of letting that go. That was a major thing. And the project I'm talking about itself was really discomfortable in many ways. But I was so much invested in it, and I took that, I accepted that. But to let go of it and to actually step back and say, oh wow, finally I realized that this is not supposed to happen, or this is not happening the way I want it, and I can go at 10 more years or whatever, and I can bite myself into it, and I know I have the perseverance, and it will reach somewhere somehow, but it's not flowing in a way. And that also was all right. And that's what I want to say. If you recognize that it's time to stop investing and to stop thinking whatever you're putting into a project or into a belief, then it's just time to do that. And if not, then not. Then just go on. You have the freedom to go on and invest in what you want to invest in, maintain and keep your beliefs where they are. But I feel that there's opportunity right now, with all these things shifting and new things coming up, and wow, so there's opportunity to reevaluate ourselves and to see, okay, is there something that we can let go of or that we can change, and look around. Maybe there's a few people, maybe there's a podcast, that's inspiring, that can help. And just to say, it's okay as well, to continue your thing and to go on. But also, if it's time to let go, then, let go of certain things and step into that discomfort of challenging yourself to, put yourself in somebody else's shoes or look at it from a different angle, and then just see what lies beyond that. Because although it might feel discomfortable at first, that discomfort might actually be minor to the huge discomfort that it will cause you if you keep on investing and keep on living your life, not reaching the goal and not reaching where you really ought to be and where you want to be. And that is, that discomfort at the end of your life might be much greater than, the little itching or so that you will have to go through in order to, make a shift.
Move to a different country, learn a new language, and, drink milk.
Yeah, and for me, I get to do this on a regular basis. I get to confront people with their beliefs and offer them a suggestion of a possible, making a choice, and essentially sitting down and kind of going through what's valuable and what's harmful, and what could be another alternative to something that might be harming yourself or harming other people, not necessarily intentionally, but unintentionally. And unfortunately, most people, the person they're harming the most is themselves. And to a large degree, it doesn't necessarily have to be, like we were talking about in discussing the title, you're lying to yourself. Stop. It doesn't have to be like that. It can just be something where it's just a little bit of a turn off from the course that they're taking, that can eventually lead to a big course change. But I think in a lot of ways, when we're confronting people that we disagree with, we're both kind of suffering from this situation. And so, like, having the ability to understand this, and then, kind of creating this circumstance that you can kind of humble yourself to start with, is how we get to make small changes that can lead to bigger changes. And eventually, if we get good at making changes, we increasingly get better decisions, and that's what we really want. So that's what I've got to say. I guess we're almost out of time, but Agnieszka, what did you want to say anything?
I'm good.
Well, then just to finish off, I feel that, we're talking, going back to the title, The Discomfort of Birthing Freedom, which is the Wednesday show that's coming up. And if nature is ready to push forth a new soul, something new to come into this world, then, who are we to stand in the way? And if something is there to be born, then, we better get comfortable with the fact that that's coming. And it might be associated with a certain discomfort. But if you look at, what's to come, and, at the feeling, at the comfort of having, a baby, of having freedom, of having something new into your life, then, I think we can forget about the pain and the discomfort that it's associated with, because, that just seems to be part of it. Although I've heard that there are women that actually give birth without pain. But let's discuss that further on Wednesday.
You're just so comfortable with the process that you don't feel the pain.
Look at that.
It's probably not their first one, though. It's probably somewhere down the line as they learn
it's a
how
technique.
to do it better, right?
No, it's a technique. It's a midwife thing, like how you prepare for it, not how you do it. But I don't remember.
Well, I would imagine they learn from experience, though. Was the motivation. Anyway, we do Wednesday, 5:35
Not from the
p.m.
reports.
Eastern time.
I don't think it's from the reports I heard the second time doesn't always mean it's easier. It seems to be a bit of a crapshoot.
I don't think it's all about the midwife. I think it's about the becoming mother herself mostly. But I'm not saying that.
Yeah, it's like a meditation technique, or it's a technique or something.
All sorts of things to discuss on Wednesday. 5:35 p.m.
11:35 Amsterdam, Berlin time. Yes.
5:35 Eastern, so that's 4:35 Central, like Houston and these kind of parts.
And 2:35 Pacific.
That's right.
PM.
Looking forward to Wednesday.
3:35 Mountain.
Bye-bye.
Bye.